Hello everybody, Fluffy's just arrived in his helicopter. Demon Red Mysterio, where, if you've got some wind noise, it's not the helicopter, it's a fan I've got on. Because it's a bit bloody warm. So I'm just trying to make sure that my live stream's actually live. Okay, it's not showing as live on my phone yet. Okay, why is it not showing as live? Okay, let's jump off there. Okay. Let's try copying the link to someone. And then I can click on that link and see if that works. Okay, no, it's not showing me as being live. Alright, let's have a look then. Okay, I am showing as being live on the station. So why is it not showing it live on the app? No, it's just showing as upcoming, scheduled. It's not scheduled, I'm live. Let's try something. I just tried pausing it. I don't understand why. There we go. Now it's showing me as live. Only taken 3 minutes. Right, okay, so what are we doing? Well, the DGT Championship, the new series, is about to start. It's been named Thor for Toyota Honda Open Wheel Racing. And the logo is available on the game. Okay, a couple of reasons why I wanted to do a guide. One was because I know that this car can be a little bit tricky to handle, but two, also, this car will differ a lot from some things I may have taught people in the past. Thirdly, as well, when the tyres wear, that is something that I want to show, which is why I'm doing this live and not as a recorded short 2-minute video. So what I want to be able to do is to show how to try and cope with the wear on the tyres. Okay, first couple of things. Number one, traction control is available for this vehicle, and even if you don't want to use traction control, I would highly recommend it at the start of the race. That's why it's been allowed, because the chance of spinning the car off the line is very high in these cars, and if you try starting in second or third, it won't help. It'll just actually make you spin faster. So I would recommend using traction control off the line. So far, I have not been able to do a start without traction control that gets anywhere close to a TC start, so I'd just have it on. Secondly, this car doesn't really like sausage curbs. Now, as I drive around, you'll notice there'll be one or two that I'm able to go over, and there's a couple that I'm going to avoid at all costs. Now, the couple that I'm going to be able to go over is mainly going to be on the exit of turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn 7. So the 7 and 8 chicane up the hill. On the right hand side there's a little bit of a sausage curb, but it's not very big. The ones I'm going to avoid for certain is in this final sector. The corner that's just gone off the screen, the right hander there's got a big sausage curb, avoid that, and then the chicane. Avoid the sausage curbs at all costs. Now, in other cars, I've said straddle the curbs. You can't do it in this car. It's way too risky. The car is too low. And chances are you're going to end up looking up at the sky. Okay, another thing to let you know as well is do not rev this car out. And by that, what I mean is don't stay in a gear longer than you need to. Depending on which view you use, depends on what indicator you should use. Now, in car view, if I go to the track, okay, in car view, just above where it says Cosworth are shift lights, and I'm going to shift when either the first or second red light comes on, or the rev gauge as it goes up. As soon as it gets to the end of the rev range is when I'll shift up, so that's what you should do as well, and that should be the same in this view. So as soon as it gets to the end of the rev range on the screen, that's when you want to be shifting up, especially in the higher gears. So that should be the same regardless of the views you use here. Personally though, because I use the in-car view, I will more than likely go off the shift lights. Okay, I haven't done any warm-up laps, so I'm just going to go and drive here. Now, some other information to give you as well is, hopefully you can hear me, is that you will only have peak grip of these tyres, excuse me, for one flying lap. After, around here anyway, after that first lap, you will not be able to go faster unless your first lap was really, really bad. But the grip will not be there. So when it comes to a race situation, you've got to bear that in mind. So for any future short guide videos that I do in this series, treat it as I am showing you how to drive with the worn tyres. That'll help you at the start of a stint, and it'll help you at the end of a stint. Because if you drive flat out on the first 2 laps of a stint, you're going to be fucked. Whereas what you want to be able to do is try and drive in a consistent way over the course of 5 or 6 laps. Hopefully about 10 minutes. Okay, these are the sausage curbs that I said we're going to avoid at all costs. That one, this left one, we can touch the red and white, but avoid the sausage. Now, throttle application and what gear we're in is going to play a big part as well. Now, I would highly recommend not pushing a braking zone in this car unless you're on a quali lap, because you want to be off the brakes when you're making your turn in. This corner is critical. Do not steer lots. Now you may notice I went into that corner in second, came out of it in third. Very handy tool in this car. Now I am just sort of doing warm-up laps here as I get myself into the rhythm of things. Now you can use first gear in this car, I do. You just have to make sure you don't go full throttle in it. Also, for anyone that's watching, if you can't hear me, let me know. And if you can hear me, let me know. Now, something I've taught in the past is if you're going to be on the power, straighten up the steering. Now that is definitely 100% accurate with this car in slow corners. Now you see here I'm trying to work off the steering rather than steer more. And I'm not going full throttle until I can start coming off the steering. But you'll notice I'm not pushing any of the braking zones. I'm not taking it to its limit. Using first gear, I can be on the throttle a little bit, steering comes off, I can then upshift and be more on the power. And do not brake late here, brake at that bridge, get the car slowed down so that you can be precise with where you put it. If you brake after the banner over the road, you will not be able to be precise through that final chicane, and that is crucial to be able to get through those corners, not just at an okay speed, but without being slow and without getting on the sausage curbs. So we're going to start coming into a little bit of tyre wear now. I mean, it's not going to be bad because I'm not pushing fully. So what I'm going to try and do now is sort of show you what I would do differently in some areas. Now this corner up here in qualifying is flat out. In the race, don't bother. If you do it flat out, you'll only do it once. And then you're going to kill your tyres and you won't be able to do it. Try and keep the inside line here as well. Going deep into this corner, or going fast into that corner doesn't help you. Now you may wonder, is it worth giving it a blip of throttle between those two corners? The answer is yes, but you can't do it if you brake too late. Okay, as the tyres wear, the first corner is going to be the same, but we'll start doing a little lift through the left-hander, and if we need it, a little lift here. We don't need it yet though, we're alright. This corner though is an interesting one. As the tyres begin to wear more, I will go down to second gear for the turn in. Now I'm going quite slow here, but it's to show you that I'm using second gear for the turn in on that corner as well, third gear for the exit. Okay, so we're not going to go flat out, we'll do a little lift, doesn't have to be a big one. But you'll notice I'm making no attempt to go flat out in first gear. We can also upshift to third in if we want there. I wouldn't recommend turning in third though. Same for these two corners. And don't go full throttle until your steering wheel is straight. Now, something we'll see a lot of people do, or I've always seen people do it, in turn 3, is the turn in, then they're not making the corner and they just keep turning. So as I came off the steering there, they would keep turning. Don't do that. You still won't make the corner and you just kill your tyres more. If you want more grip through turn 3, come off the steering. Okay, let me try and concentrate a little bit again now. But you'll still see that I'm not pushing any of the braking zones. I'm not taking it to its limit, because if I do, we're not going to be able to keep doing laps. I went up to 4th there, didn't mean to. So this will be quite a slow lap. That's because I did back off. But I would now expect to be doing slower laps in the 130s, maybe higher. But my aim is to try and position the car in the same place each time. I may just have to differ my speed. Second gear for turn in, can go up to 3rd once we're in the corner. So that's coping with the tyre wear. Now you may wonder, well, why not just turn in 3rd gear like we do in other cars? This car doesn't like it. Now I wouldn't recommend doing it in all the corners, just those 2 that I've shown you. The crucial thing with this car is to remember that if you're going wide at a corner, steering more will not help you. Okay, we're definitely starting to slide a bit now on the rear, but the aim is to try and keep some front end grip. So I've not had a problem with turn 1 on any occasion. Little lift through 2, little lift through 3. Notice I didn't steer more. Okay, now as the tyres are really getting worn, I can tell that in the last couple of corners the grip really wasn't quite there. So now I would have to be thinking, okay, do I need to pit? Can I keep going? Now, personally, I think we can keep going, but we're going to have to brake a little earlier in some corners. We're going to have to go a little slower through some corners, and we're going to have to be careful of the rear end lighting up. Oh, hit the sausage, be careful. So now I would be thinking, okay, I'm probably going to need to pit. I wasn't able to put the car where I wanted to in the final chicane. Missed the apex of turn 1 a bit that time. Okay, definitely struggling for front end grip through 3. Got it slowed down nicely in that corner this time because I braked a little bit earlier. Yeah, the front end grip just isn't quite there. And this is a treacherous point now, because if I steer more while I apply full throttle, I'm gonna spin. Yep, definitely got a lack of front end grip. I'm going to try and keep going though. And what I'm going to do after this lap is show you what happens if you don't look after the tyres. They've gone into that one in third this time. There's too much understeer mid-corner. So he's wanting to lose the rear now in third gear. Definitely time to pit. Now, also have to be very careful of pit entry here, because it's very easy to spin it on the way in or even hit the wall like I nearly did there. Okay, so now I'm going to drive with zero consideration for the tyres, and we'll see how they go. I'll also perhaps try not avoiding some sausage curbs. Okay, so in qualifying you can go through 2 and 3 absolutely flat out, and we'll try doing that on this stint. Now we may end up with a faster lap time here, but it won't last. Stayed on the revs too long there. So I was faster into that corner then, but I had no grip in the middle of it. So even though I'm doing little lifts there, I'm still abusing the tyres. Now to some this may look fast, feel fast. To me, it feels horrible. Looks horrible. It's all messy. Yes, it's a fast lap time. But now let's see if we can keep it going. Two tenths down? Where from? I know where from, but I'm exaggerating for the video. Still didn't have any grip in the middle of that corner. When I wanted to get on the power, I couldn't. Okay, even though I'm lifting, I'm what? Fucking hell, look how much wear I've got on my front left tyre. Now, although I'm going over the sausage curves there and I'm not losing control, what I'm not able to do is get on the power because the car's bouncing. And look, I'm about a second and a half I've lost on that lap time and I've killed my front left tyre. Oh, out wide. Keep turning. Oh, look, we're not making the corner. Bear that in mind for the next lap. It would be very easy at this point to go, my tyres are fucked to the done. Yeah, if you keep driving like this, yeah. Okay, I'm now having to use second gear there to get the grip. I've got no hope of doing that flat out. I did a big lift and only just stayed on the road. Bouncing. Front left tyre is what, 50% gone, and we've done 3 laps, 4 laps. Can't slow it down. Okay, gonna struggle, are we? Yep. Come off the steering, the grip's there. Now because my tyres wear is quite imbalanced, I should be able to push a little bit more in the left hand corners. But it's not really going to help me now. So the question would be, are these tyres absolutely fucked? Yeah. Let's put it this way, with how they're feeling, I wouldn't want to be doing many more laps. I mean, I'm pretty much using a quarter wear. Oh, gone deep. a quarter wear on the front left, a lap. That is, yeah, that's a definite sign we're doing something wrong. Okay, so let's see if we can still have some grip here. So braking at my normal point. Okay, not bad, we've still got a bit of grip left. So we can actually still control this car. And this at the moment is just from braking that touch earlier at turn 1 and then the following corners. Not being full throttle early. Now, the lap time's not going to be there, but hopefully I'm showing here that we've still got grip. Although I'm struggling now with the slow corners. Well, we had grip, but given the left side tyres, it's no surprise that we've ended up spinning there. We've come round that right hander, third corner from the end, on leaning on that left side. It's struggling to do it. We've hit the brakes and it's not slowing down, the tyres are too hot. So hopefully there I've been able to show that if you attack this car, it may give you 1 lap time, but it is not going to give you a stint. Okay, so what I'll show now is I'll try and show what I'm using as my braking points. Also, for anyone that wants to know, the steering angle you can see being used on the screen with the steering wheel is the same steering angle that I am inputting. Okay, something I want to show here is, okay, can you see, right, the dark black tyre mark that is just touching the front of my car as I can see it now? There's one dark tyre mark heading straight forward, and then we've got a bit of a gap to another set of dark tyre marks underneath the polyphony sign. The dark tyre mark that is in contact with the front of my car as we see it now is what I'm using as my braking point. So we're looking at, it's about the marshal's flag or light on the right hand side, so we're looking at about 125 meters ish. If you don't know which black mark I'm on about, this one here right in the middle of the car, that's what I'm using as my brake marker. Now you may think that that's way too soon, but bear in mind, I can brake there every single lap for at least 11 laps. On the run I've just done, I was braking 20 meters later, but after 2 laps, I wasn't making the corner. So there's no point braking there. I can be much more consistent and much faster braking at this point, and much nicer on the tyres. Okay, for turn 1, I'm going fractionally beyond the 100-meter marker board that is up on the fence, and I'm hitting the same point each time, or at least trying to, 100 meters, and I want to be off the brakes when I'm on the curb. If we're going to have to do a lift through 3, do it before 3. It makes it easier. You don't really want to be lifting in the middle of it. Brake a few car lengths before the bridge, before the shadow of the bridge as well. Difficult brake spotting point here, but it's on the crest of the hill. Braking point is the start of the curb on the right hand side, or just before it. Third gear. Don't be on the power when you initially turn in. Don't need to brake here. At the end of the curb on the left, you can do your little lift and turn in. Brake marker point, the tyre mark. Don't get on the power too soon. Get off the steering. Don't go full throttle until you're in second gear. Let the car slow down, stay tight. You can upshift early to third if you want. Turn in at the end of the curb on the left, full throttle, brake at the banner, off the brakes, quick squirt throttle between the corners, and you'll notice the car isn't bouncing around when I'm not touching the sausage curbs. That's what allows you to squirt in full throttle between the corners, but also once the car is straight enough on the exit. So if you're going to lift at 3, do it here. Right, brake a couple of car lengths before the shadow. Brake at the crest of the hill. Brake at the start of the curb. Turn in at the end of the curb on the left. If you turn in too much, you'll know it. The brake at the tyre mark. Okay, let's do one more lap. Now, I didn't push on those first 2 laps. This lap I was able to go through turns 2 and 3 flat out. Shows that you can keep the grip there. The only thing is, by doing it flat out, if I continuously do it flat out, it will kill the tyres. Because I hit the curb, it had a little hop, and I couldn't go as much on the power as I wanted. Okay, so there hopefully is some handy, useful tips for people for this car and for this track. I'm not going to do an extended guide for each of the tracks. Really, what you've learned in the previous 2 series of cars should help you a lot in this car. but there are some little differences, like, yeah, the final 3 corners, avoid those sausage curves. Now, what I would say is the target, even on the highest wearing track, should be to try and get 10 minutes out of the tyres. If you're not able to get 10 minutes out of the tyres, you're doing something a little too aggressive with the car, which isn't allowing you to have the grip to go and do 10 minutes. That could be braking too late, it could be turning too much, it could be getting on the power too soon, and it could be staying on the steering, keeping the steering turned for way longer than it really needs. As I showed through turn 3 in this video, you don't turn more by steering more, you turn more by steering less and letting the tyres find the grip. The more you steer, the hotter they get, the more the wear, the less they grip and the less they'll steer for you. Hopefully this video has been useful, and if it hasn't, then yeah, what do I know. Anyway, have a good one everybody, that's me done, and I'll see you all again soon. See you in a bit.